If your dishwasher door suddenly falls all the way to the floor, feels unusually heavy, refuses to stay partly open, will not close correctly, or leaks around the front, the problem is usually connected to the door balancing system, hinges, latch, alignment, or gasket. A dishwasher door is heavy because it contains an inner metal panel, insulation, controls, and sometimes a decorative furniture panel. Springs, cables, pulleys, tensioners, or friction mechanisms are used to support that weight. The exact design varies considerably between brands and models. Before ordering parts or removing panels, find the complete model number, usually printed on a label around the edge of the door, and consult the installation or service information for that machine. Begin by disconnecting the dishwasher from electricity, unplug it if the plug is accessible, or switch off its dedicated circuit breaker. Confirm that the controls no longer respond. Close the household water valve as an additional precaution. Empty the racks and remove loose items so they cannot fall out while the appliance is being moved. Wear work gloves because the cabinet and side panels can have sharp metal edges. Eye protection is also sensible when working near stretched springs or tensioned cables. Now identify the symptom. If the door falls open without resistance, one of the supporting springs, cables, pulleys, tensioners, or friction components may be loose, incorrectly adjusted, disconnected, or broken. If the door pulls itself closed too aggressively, the spring tension may be too high. If one side drops lower than the other, the balancing component on one side may have failed, or the door may have moved out of one hinge. If the door feels balanced but will not latch, first check the racks, dishes, latch, gasket, cabinet alignment, and leveling before dismantling anything. Open the door and make sure both racks are pushed completely inside. A pan handle, chopping board, utensil, or piece of cutlery can prevent the door from closing. Check that the upper rack is level. On adjustable racks, one side can sometimes be installed higher than the other, preventing the rack from moving fully into the tub. Inspect the door gasket for food, residue, folds, cuts, or sections that have moved out of their retaining groove. Clean it with a soft cloth and warm water. Do not assume that a small gap at the bottom of the gasket is always damage. Some dishwasher seals are intentionally open at the bottom. Compare the gasket with the diagram for your model before replacing it. Examine the latch and strike plate. Remove visible dirt, but do not spray liquid into the latch. If the door must be slammed, the latch, strike, hinges, or dishwasher alignment may be incorrect. Make sure the appliance is level and square inside the cabinet. A twisted dishwasher tub can prevent the door from closing evenly and can cause leaks around one corner. Check that the door is not hitting the surrounding cabinets, countertop, mounting screws, or decorative trim. If the main problem is a falling door, access to the balancing mechanism is usually gained by removing the lower toe kick panel and, on some models, pulling the dishwasher partly out of the cabinet. Do not begin pulling the dishwasher forward until the electrical connection, water hose, drain hose, and mounting brackets have been considered. A hose or cable can be damaged if the appliance is moved too far. Remove the screws securing the dishwasher to the countertop or adjacent cabinets, protect the floor, and pull the appliance forward only as far as required by the model-specific instructions. Support the door while inspecting the mechanism. Do not allow it to fall because the sudden weight can bend the hinges, damage the inner panel, or injure your hands. Some dishwashers have a coil spring on each side connected directly to the door hinge. Others use a spring connected to a cord or cable that travels around a plastic pulley. Integrated models may have an additional sliding hinge or friction system to support a heavy cabinet panel. Look for a broken spring, frayed cable, cracked plastic pulley, disconnected hook, damaged tensioner, or a component that has slipped out of its mounting position. Compare the left and right sides. The two systems should normally be installed symmetrically. If the parts are intact, but the tension is incorrect, the adjustment method depends on the design. On some plastic tub, Whirlpool-style dishwashers, moving the end of the spring toward the rear increases tension when the door falls open. Moving it toward the front reduces tension when the door closes too quickly. The springs on both sides must be placed in matching notches. Unequal adjustment can make the door crooked and place additional stress on the hinges. Other dishwashers use adjustment screws. Turning the screws may increase or decrease the tension, but the correct direction and starting position vary. Follow the installation instructions rather than guessing. If a spring or cable is broken, Adjustment will not repair it. Replace it with the exact part specified for the model. Before unhooking a spring, close and support the door to reduce tension. Springs can release suddenly, so keep your face and fingers away from their path. Use pliers only when the manufacturer's procedure allows it. Hold the spring securely and do not stretch it farther than necessary. If the system includes a cable, route the replacement around the pulley exactly like the original. A cable installed on the wrong side of a guide can rub against the cabinet, break prematurely, or prevent the door from moving smoothly. Take clear photographs before removing anything. They can help you reproduce the original spring position, cable route, clip orientation, and screw location. Do not substitute an ordinary hardware store spring. The length, strength, hook design, and working range are selected for the weight and movement of the dishwasher door. After installing or adjusting the parts, test the door carefully before reinstalling the side panels. The door should open smoothly, remain controlled through its movement, and not drop suddenly. It should also close and latch without excessive force. Test it several times while keeping one hand underneath. Check that both sides move evenly and that no cable jumps off a pulley. Reinstall the side panel, toe kick, mounting brackets, and every screw in its original position. Make sure insulation, hoses, and wiring are not trapped between the dishwasher and cabinet. Level the appliance again after pushing it back into position. Confirm that the door is centered and does not touch the surrounding furniture. Restore the water and electrical supplies, then run a short cycle while remaining nearby. Check the latch area, lower corners, and floor for leaks. If the door now closes, but water escapes from the front, inspect the gasket, lower door seal, spray arms, and appliance alignment. A split spray arm can direct water toward the door and create a leak that looks like a gasket problem. Stop the repair and arrange professional service if the hinge is bent, the inner door panel is distorted, the spring mounting point is broken, electrical wiring has been damaged, or the dishwasher must be removed beyond the safe reach of its hoses and cable. To summarize, first disconnect the power and identify whether the problem involves balance, closure, alignment, or sealing. Remove any obstruction. Inspect the racks, gasket, latch, and hinges, then examine the springs, cables, pulleys, or tensioners. Adjust both sides equally when adjustment is permitted. Replace damaged components with model-specific parts. Test the door before reassembly, and never work on a stretch spring without supporting the door.